Welcome to this State of the Collection video. This is part 3. I am Alvin, aka The Theorist. This is a continued look at my collection, which includes almost 50 watches. We've done Japan, we've done China, now on to Switzerland. This is the first time I've done a State of the Collection. It's like a log of my journey for me. And there's been some surprises after putting things together and counting certain types of watches and that kind of thing. I was surprised to see how many quartz watches I have. Nothing wrong with that, just some interesting stats that came up, unexpected ones. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, I unbox and review my own watches with the odd opinion about horological ongoings. I've been doing the same thing on my blog for a good few years now, thetheorist.com, writing about my watches, general watch life problems and thoughts and crazy ideas that watch people have. Links below, check it out. In this video, we'll be visiting Switzerland, looking at 13 Swiss watches in my collection. We'll go in chronological order. For context, at the time I bought the first watch on this list, it was like nearly 9 years ago. I didn't have any Japanese or Chinese watches. I had a couple of Casios maybe and some other random pieces, not really of note. I wasn't really into watches, but I liked them, but I knew nothing about the industry. It was more of a status thing before I actually learned anything about it. Same as most people, I guess. Go ahead and drop a comment, ask any questions about the collection you might have. I actually would be interested in hearing thoughts about the Certina in the collection. Yeah, you'll see why. Please like and subscribe for more horological goodness. Once the State of the Collection's out of the way, we'll get a bit more random. Okay, let's get into it. Tissot Skelette, November 2016. Once upon a time, a guy with no qualifications and no chance and no money found himself in a lucky spot. He got himself a decent job and career. He was not used to being paid well, but he'd always liked spending money. He's always managed to spend all the money he had on things he didn't need. So watches fitted right into that really well. I tell you what, he'd always liked a skeleton dial, and when he found this one, he pulled the trigger. Bear in mind that he was 12 kilograms, that is 26 pounds heavier than he is now, so that muscle and chub made his wrist a half-decent size. That was almost 9 years ago now. Right, enough of the third person. This watch is a good-looking skeleton watch. It has kind of an industrial style to it, like metal plating. That kind of made it stand out from the other intricate, fancy finished skeletons that you see. I feel like it's a bit raw. When my sister saw this, she called it the Golden Compass, which is a compliment because there's great books and film and TV shows. However, these days, it doesn't get much time on the wrist just because of the size of it. I can't get away with it. I enjoy looking at it, but I don't feel comfortable wearing it. Saying that, sometimes I get it out of the watch box just to have a look. I'll wear it around the house. It is just a nice watch to play with as well. If I get another skeleton, maybe this will have to go, but it's unlikely. It's one of the best Tissot watches you can get, that's for sure. Raymond Weil Freelancer, June 2017. When I picked this one up, I hadn't become a watch bro yet, but I did all right, I think, considering how wrong it could have gone, and you'll see with the next watch that mistakes can be easily made. I'm glad I wasn't a watch bro and I didn't know anything, because working in London, I would have been very self-conscious about the hierarchy of things. And if I was looking at other people's watches, I probably felt very insecure. So that was a blessing in disguise, because this is it's halfway there. It's a premium watch. It looks great. And back then, I think it would have been like, yeah, okay, fair enough, a Raymond Weil. But for me, I really like the watch. The design, the color, it's bold. There's nice flashes of detail and it's shiny. Shiny is good. It's really well made as well. I've had it for how long? 8 years, I guess, and it hasn't missed a beat. I took it for a walk the other day and timed my walk. It's 1 hour and 8 minutes, and the chronograph timed it all to perfection. Sure, it is quite big, but I can just about get away with it these days. The strap on this is helpful because it's quite thick towards the lugs, and the lugs curve downwards, or angle downwards towards the wrist, so that allows it, but it is quite chunky. It kind of is show-offy though, so that's fine. I don't think this will be going anywhere. This is like my entrance into the crazy watch world. It served me well and it will continue to get wrist time. Certina DS Podium Chronograph, August 2017. This is the one I was on about. It's a bit of an odd one. It's not the ugliest watch I've ever seen, but it's definitely not the best looking. I know I bought it because it was on sale, but I can't remember the details. I like the chrono style. I like it's bold. The strap, obviously that's aftermarket, but it fits the watch well. It is a quartz, nothing wrong with that. I think the main thing with this is the dial, the faux gold markers on it. and the hands. It's a little bit garish. Not something I wear these days. Yeah, this might have to go. Well, that says it already, doesn't it? Certina are a decent brand though. They do some great dive watches. This just isn't one of them. Raymond Weil Toccata. Oh, I don't know when I bought this one. I can't find any records of buying this. Maybe I burnt them all. Mate, I would have done that for the Certina if it would have been for anything, but get rid of the proof. It was a present. But no, the Raymond Weil, I think, was from Amazon on sale, and I'm pretty sure it was around £200 because I remember being well pleased with the deal. It's a two-hand, it's a quartz. Often when it's a quartz dress watch, they will not include a second hand, so you don't see the unseemly quartz tick. It's like a lumbering Frankenstein type monster a quartz second hand is on a dress watch, so they just leave it out. But in general, design-wise, it's pretty slick. Nice to wear with a smart shirt, smart outfit, suits, whatever. And I do wear it once in a while, because I don't have another straight black dress watch, so I think it needs a new strap, but this will stay in the collection. It's decent. Tudor Glamour Day Date, November 2018. So 2018, this was the year I was getting into the watch scene. I'd bought a few Seikos and was exploring premium brands, scouring eBay at unholy hours. Chrono 24 was my stomping ground. This one came up on eBay, and being a lover of all things French, as you'll know if you've seen the Cartier review, this one has the days of the week in French. So I immediately was drawn to it, and it was a pretty good deal because there was some kind of engraving on the back that had been removed, so there's a bit of ugliness there, but works for me because who's looking at the back? It doesn't matter. Made a cheeky offer, got countered, but I accepted because it was a good deal. And so in terms of brands, I guess this was my break into the premium sphere. Even though Tudor wasn't quite then what it is now, it was still cool. The day-date configuration is a classic. I love a logo at 12. They've got the shield in at 12 here. It's pretty low-key, though I don't like the name Glamour. It fits some of the fancier iterations of this watch. There are many, but it doesn't work for me. When I bought this from eBay, there was no authenticity guarantee, so I took this to a local jeweler where I was working, and they checked it out and said it was A-OK. And I remember looking at a Milgauss and a Speedmaster in that same place, and now I am kicking myself for not buying the Milgauss. So stupid. But I've been very happy with this. I wear it quite regularly, and I think it's time for a new strap though. I've had it on this one for a while, and I always take it to France with me because you gotta represent. Just in case anyone asks me what day it is, I can tell them in French. Yes. Longines Conquest GMT VHP Flash Setting, June 2020. Long name there. VHP stands for very high precision. The flash setting we'll get to. Here there's a gap of about 18 months in buying premium watches. Not sure why. I think I was just busy at work, ran out of money, maybe. I don't know. But this is another quartz, and it's one of my favourites. And it gets a lot of wrist time. Well, it used to get more than it does now. Obviously, more watches, less wrist time. But I used to travel a lot, and this was the one I would take with me. It's a not too pricey GMT, so I was happy to wear it anywhere. This has got a few little gimmicks to it, some might say, but I like these kind of things. Keeps it interesting, a bit of variation. So the GMT time can be switched between home with a double click of the crown, which I like, and the smooth motion is always pleasing to me. The flash setting, there's a little hole in the number 12 on the dial there, and via an app on your phone, which you can choose your time zone, and you point your flash from your camera at that 12, it flashes, and then the watch will change to the time zone that you chose on the app, if that made sense. It's kind of cool, but it's a bit long-winded. I don't really do that change it by the crown, but it is quite a nice little feature. It's still my go-to travel watch, though I don't do much traveling these days because I live by the sea. I don't feel the need to go anywhere. Tissot PRX, December 2021. Again, there is a gap of a good 18 months since buying the last Swiss watch, but during that time I do know that I discovered Chinese watches and was exploring that area and buying several of those. So the Swiss watches got a break, but when I did come back to it, this one, it was a reasonably priced budget watch, which is quite sensible of me. This was a great deal, and when I bought it, it is a quartz, and I was aware that I enjoyed the style of the watch and I wasn't that bothered about the movement, spending double the price or more just to get that other movement. It wasn't a concern for me, which is an interesting thing, actually. It's not something I've come across before or a decision I've had to make before, but it still makes sense to me. It's a great watch, though. Obviously, the design is legendary, and it's nice to wear, and it's the only watch I haven't adjusted the bracelet for. And for a while, that was okay. Even though it was loose, I kind of wore it like that and enjoyed it. It's different. But now I think I will adjust the bracelet to make it fit more flush. I don't see movements, I don't discriminate. If I like it, I like it. Zenith El Primero Synopsis, September 2022. I feel like I've been pretty sensible up to this point. Despite accumulating a lot of watches, I hadn't spent loads on an individual watch, or even all my watches together when you consider the bigger picture. And relatively speaking, I was doing okay, but then I saw this beautiful bastard and I was gone. I was looking for an El Primero chronograph. I love those too. And I came across this on eBay, I think. I love the design. The open heart becomes the focus of the dial without the chronograph. So, and actually, I don't know why it's still called the El Primero when the El Primero is in reference to being the first chronograph. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, I love this. It gets a lot of wear. It's a bit flashy, but it's not over the top. It's quite shiny. I like shiny things. I love a display case back. The open window is great as well. And you can actually see through it, which is nice. It's cool. I don't know why I like that. I just do. Loads of detail on the internals. Obviously with Zenith you expect a high quality of finish, and the dial's got some great details on it as well. I'd love to add another Zenith to the collection. There are some beauties out there. The El Primero chronographs, obviously. I love the full open version, and the Defy 21 chronograph, I think it's called. Really nice in black ceramic, but they're always very expensive. That is the problem with Zenith. Although there are bargains to be had in the pre-owned market. Longines Master Collection, 190th anniversary, June 2023. Just find this a bit weird that these ones, there's a bunch of watches called Longines Master Collection. That's the model name, Master Collection. If it's a bit lazy, this one could be called something much better, especially because it's so bloody nice. I can remember being immediately smitten with this one. Found it on Subdial, but they didn't have the offer function at the time, so I knew they were on Chrono 24. I popped on there, made an offer, it was accepted. Pretty good deal. I love the dial on this, it's one of my favourites. Engraved numerals are just pure class. It's very simple otherwise, with the numerals as the stars of the dial. It's simple elegance. It's just a really nice watch to wear and look at, especially when the light catches in those numerals. It is hindered by a bit of a noisy rotor, but it's not really a deal breaker. This has been one of the watches that has influenced me most recently, in that I'm leaning towards dress watches more these days. So I bought this around the same time as I bought the Maison Celadon piece, and I feel like they're trying to help me grow up into a more sophisticated, smarter person, but I'm fighting it. Tudor Black Bay red bezel, June 2023. It's a red bezel, it's not burgundy, despite what Tudor might have to say about it. It's clearly red. And I'd been quite interested in the older red bezel version for a while. I kept looking for deals, but the prices held pretty high. It was a smiley version that I was interested in. I was ready to pull the trigger when this one was announced, so I'm glad I didn't. And this one, a bit of a slicker package, thinner, smaller, a touch, Meta certification. It's just it's a well considered and put together package. The red, gold and black combo really works for me. I liked it on the old watch and it looks just as good on this one. The bracelet, the 5-link, was the draw. I made my first trip to the AD for this watch. I was in Wales for a few days travelling around exploring, and on the way back I dropped into a dealer that wasn't far from my hometown, and I walked in looking a bit of a mess, to be fair, but they had this watch. I phoned ahead and I thought I'd have a look at it, and I was immediately taken by it, but they didn't have it on a Jubilee. They only had it on the regular bracelet, so I put my name on the list and left. And then a few days later I phoned them up to see if they still had it, because I was being a childish, impetuous and impatient person, and then I went in to pick it up. When I did, the lady at the AD said that she could order the Jubilee bracelet for me because Tudor allow it when Rolex don't. It was an extortionate price, and I'll let you guess how much it was in the comments. I don't want to say it, it hurts my feelings, but anyway, obviously I bought it. Here it is. It looks great. I'm glad that I did. I don't regret it, but I just don't like talking about it. Got my spend up at the AD a little bit, I guess, but not the best way of doing it. Glad I got it though. It is one of my faves. It gets a lot of wrist time. I think I'll put it back on the bracelet soon. Something different, or maybe even a rubber strap of some kind, I'm not sure. But I do still like it a lot, and I don't think it's going anywhere. The new Tudors that have just come out, that burgundy glossy dial, I don't think it looks as good as this one. It is cool, but I don't think any of them look as good as this. It's the best. Cartier Ronde Croisière de Cartier, July 2023. Now this is another one that has influenced me quite a lot recently. It is a classy little number. I've always liked Cartier, just in general, as a French luxury brand. And then their watches, they do some of the best dress watches. Their haute horology is on point. They make some of the craziest stuff out there. And even though they're a jeweler primarily, they have a lot of history in the watch game with the Tank and the Santos. Their modern stuff is just great though. I think they're one of the best brands out at the moment, and I think that shows in the sales as well. They're second only to Rolex, I think, these days. The design language that runs through the brand is very cool, and it's done in a way that others don't do it. The cabochons, the Roman numerals, the Cartier text on the dial, and precious metals, they just nail it. Quality is great. And even though this is a bit big for a dress watch, I think it works well. I think if you want to show that you like watches, but you want to be a bit smart, it is bold in that way. It's nice. Yes, it's a signaler as well, because they like to do that, but there are smaller versions if you prefer, but this works for me. And it's really good on a skinny wrist as well. If you haven't seen a full review, I've done that. You can check out the links below. But I love it. I love it a lot. So much so that I really do want more Cartiers. I need to swap out some. Omega Moon Swatch, Mission to Mercury. I think it's that one anyway. May 2024. Yeah, a bit of a boring one now, I suppose. But I was after one of these for a while. I don't work in London anymore, which is good in a way because I wouldn't have had any money left for a moon swatch then. But if I did, I would have grabbed one earlier. But every time I tried, when I visited London, I went to Battersea Swatch, I went to Covent Garden. I think there's another one as well. I can't remember where, but they didn't have any in stock. So then I just gave up. And I wasn't planning to pay over the odds on eBay for one of these. When I was in Paris, I popped in a few different watch shops, including the Swatch one, and found this. I thought, I had a choice of different colours, but I like this one. It's just a bit more versatile and chill. And so it was that I bought it. It's a great summer piece to throw on and wear on holiday as well. You don't have to take too much care of it. Obviously, I had to change the strap out, and this one works really well. It's a good watch to travel with as well, if you want to stay low-key, but you might want to still show that you like watches. I'm glad I bought it. I do enjoy wearing it, despite the many varying opinions on this watch. I like it. Rolex Explorer 2, September 2024. And finally, last but not least expensive, the bloody Rolex. So another trip to the AD. I went actually to try on JLC Reversos, which I was looking into, and they fit really well actually. I was after a duo face, but they are so goddamn expensive at retail. Pick up a good deal on pre-owned, but still expensive. I was chatting away with the AD guy about all kinds of watches, and then he mentioned that they had this in stock. I actually didn't even look in the window because it's always display only watches, so there's no point of looking in the window. But this time I should have looked because this was there. This was on the list with somebody and that person didn't want it, so it was there for the taking. I was on the list for the Sky Dweller and the GMT Master 2. I really love a Sky Dweller. But this was a decent proposition as well because it's got the GMT movement. It's more wearable than those two because they're more flashy. It's just more of an everyday watch, this one. So it was a decent proposition, I guess. I thought if I have to sell it, I won't lose too much money, but it's still quite a lot of cash to part with that you weren't planning to part with. And that is why I went for a walk before making my decision. I just popped out of the store for 10 minutes, got some air and had to think about it, and then decided, yeah, let's do it. I was hoping I would gain some brownie points with the AD, but I don't think it works like that. I spend still nothing compared to these guys, because the AD is a Patek dealer as well, so I'm nowhere. I'm nowhere on their list. I'm right at the bottom. God damn it. Anyway, I got a Rolex. I have been enjoying it. I'm a bit less precious with it these days, but as the wrist has become skinnier, it does make me wonder whether I should swap it out for something smaller. Another Rolex or a Cartier. I've got a Cartier problem, I think. I can see this escalating. But yeah, it's a great watch. Made for spelunkers originally. That's cave explorers to you and me. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done any spelunking yet. At least not that I can talk about on YouTube. Well, that is it then. It's 13 Swiss watches in my collection, 5 quartz watches, and 7 of those I paid under £1,000 for. Some way under, obviously, as you can tell. But Certina, yeah, I'm sorry I had to show you that, but I had to include everything. I'm being real here, I'm being honest. I guess prior to putting this video together, I didn't realise that I had so many quartz. Quartz is cool with me though, but yeah, I just didn't realise. Also, 2 Tudors, 2 Raymond Wales, 2 Tissots. I need to make it 2 Cartiers, I think, or 7. But yeah, I think the Rolex might have to make way. Not really AD, folks, not really. Definitely keeping it forever. So that's it. We've done Chinese, Japanese, Swiss, and now I have a bunch of leftover randoms for another video. Some interesting ones in there, though. Again, this was a cool exercise for me. I've got to look at my collection from a bird's eye view and take it all in and see how I want to change it. I haven't really thought about selling and chopping and changing too much. I always just accumulated, but I think I'm at the point where I need to be a bit more sensible and reasonable about it. But that doesn't always mean spending less money. Though, if I sell one to buy one, that's okay. That is reasonable. And it's sensible. So yeah, I'm getting there. I'm growing as a watch bro. It's been fun looking back at it though. Once I'm done with these, I can do some more interesting content. Looking forward to that as well. like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a good one.